You're live. Well, I like being live. Okay, uh, today I want to very briefly talk about another group that I have. It's called Famous Cemeteries, and that now these cemeteries, like I'm talking any cemetery anywhere on this globe, and that, but there's actually three cemeteries that I know of that I'm really interested in, and that is Hollywood Broadway Cemetery in Hollywood, California. Another one is in the UK, just right behind a restaurant pub in the UK. It's called the Black Bull. Apparently, this cemetery has over 40,000 interments. To me, that's pretty cool. And the other one is, it's not really considered a cemetery, it's more considered a burial ground. And this is in Egypt, and in southern Egypt, actually. And it's known as the Valley of the Kings, along with Valley of the Queens. And that area is more of a burial site. Well, it's more labeled a burial site than a cemetery, but still, and there's no markers, no stones or anything. It's just basically what archaeologists have found, and that's who called that area that is the Valley of the Kings, is because that's where all the kings of the past are interred, basically. So, but there are literally thousands of cemeteries around the world. I couldn't even. Yes, there are literally thousands of. Sorry, there are literally thousands of them. I couldn't even begin to touch the surface, and that because there's so many of them, and that. But some of these cemeteries that you might come across, the really old ones, they may not be, eventually haunted, and that, but they're just as good for history buffs like myself, for historical research, and ideal, and that. And a quick shout out to a guy that I watch all the time on YouTube. Okay, his name is Arthur Dark. Okay, he runs a channel called Hollywood Graveyard. Now I'll leave a link in the description below to his channel, and I'd highly recommend to subscribe to his channel. Okay, because what he does is he does graveyard tours all over the world, and he for each gravestone he goes to, he kind of does a very brief history tutorial on the individual, regardless of what they did in life, whether an actor or painter, politician, athlete, whatever, and that he explains a little bit of the history of each person, of each grave site he goes to, and he's done the United States, he's done Canada, he's done England, and that he's done so many different countries, and that I really enjoy listening to him. And that some of his videos are kind of short, some are kind of long, some are either in 1, 2, or 3 part series. But I strongly recommend to check out that channel, and that really fascinating. Not so much he might touch a little bit on the paranormal, but it's generally interest and historical. And again, it's called Hollywood Graveyard. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below, along with the link to the group that this is representing, Famous Cemeteries. Okay, and so yeah, because just because you go to a famous cemetery or graveyard, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's aka haunted or active. In that it's also a treasure trove for historians. Hey, Tinker. And but I know there are tons and tons of other cemeteries that I've researched myself, and they're all like some. I'd say about 80% of the cemeteries that I've researched and that have had some level of activity, paranormal activity, but some have not. And that they're amazing just for history. And that, and so, yeah, so like I said, this video is going to be shorter. And so what I strongly recommend you do, if you're really into learning more about cemeteries, regardless of where they are, and that, try to find out the history behind the location, what the people did in that area. Has there been any reports of any activity, any apparitions, any orbs, anything? That's my challenge to you, is to find a location, older the better, and that, trying to find a location, whether it's a cemetery, graveyard, burial site, whatever, and that, try to find out if there's any ghostly activity in this location. But if not, then the history behind it should be just as neat. And that, because I know lots of cemeteries that there is zero paranormal activity, but there is a ton of historical stuff. And like I said, to me, when it comes to the cemetery, older the better. And some cemeteries go back thousands of years, which to me is a sweet shop for both paranormal enthusiasts and historians. And God knows I've been to both of them. So anyway, and because there are some other cemeteries that I know of in the States. I'm trying to rack my brain what they're called, but I can't think of them right now. And there are some in Illinois, Chicago, Michigan, New York. There's tons of them here in well, not Mississauga, but Toronto area, and another location, if you could ever find one, and then to see if you could ever find a cemetery devoted towards Army, or, well, I shouldn't say Army, military veterans. And because sometimes if you come across a location that is either part of the cemetery is for military or all of it's for military, and to go in there with respect to the people interred there, and to go in there with a voice recorder and a camera and see what you catch. And because who knows, you might not catch anything. You might catch something, like a voice or an orb or a mist or something. But like I said, if you do want to do that kind of stuff, go in there with respect to the memory of the people that are interred there, just like any cemetery. So anyway, people, I got a phone call I'm waiting on. So if you like this video, if you find it educational, hit the thumbs up that you liked it. But if there's something about this video that you didn't like, hit thumbs down, but let me know. Okay, and be sure, and don't forget to, share, subscribe, hit the notification, so every time I come on, you'll get a notification. Bless you too, Tinker. Yeah, Tinker Johnson in chat, who's part of SWYPT, and is a regular around here, and I love her to bits. And so anyway, bless Tinker. So like I said, the next stream, I'm not sure will be in a day or two, not sure yet. But yeah, so every time I go live, you'll get a notification. So please subscribe and if you enjoy the stream as much as I do, and hopefully you'll be a regular like Tinker is. Okay, gotta go. God bless you all. Thank you so much. And love you all to bits. And again, like I said, as I say at the end of every stream, love and light to all. Toodaloo, bye.